Ariel Helwani getting set for UFC 118 in Boston with BJ Penn, who of course faces Frankie Edgar this Saturday night for the lightweight title. And BJ, I know you're a history buff. Pretty cool to be here, right? Faneuil Hall, look at all these famous people behind us.
Wait, before I answer that question, I always felt that Ariel Helwani did not like me. And I just want to know, from a man to another man, do you like me, Ariel?
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
BJ Penn was one of my first favorite fighters growing up. Shaking. Well, why do you think that?
I don't know. I just always got that vibe, and I'm, you know, that's why I'm glad I said it as a man to you.
Well, I appreciate you saying to me face to face. Put it this way: there are a lot of big stars here today. I came first to BJ Penn. That should say something.
Thank you very much, Ariel. Okay.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, let's shake. Let's hug it out. Okay. Thank you, BJ. All right. Let's talk about the history. I know you're a history buff. This is pretty cool, right?
This is awesome, man. We're in Boston. This is where they came over, right? Where America started. And the first thing I did, got here, I was like, come on, you got to take me. I got Lausanne on the phone. Took me down to see Plymouth Rock, went to see the Mayflower 2, and look at this press conference where we get to do this at. Amazing.
I mean, you've been around this sport a long time. Did you ever think you'd be, not only, you know, Boston, all that stuff, you were in Abu Dhabi, but to me this feels a little extra special, right?
This is amazing, man. I never get to come to some place like Boston. I'm all the way in Hawaii. We have such a different history, and to come back and really see the American history, it's a trip.
All right, so let's talk about this fight. Obviously, Abu Dhabi, very disappointing for you. I'm sure you've had a chance to watch the fight since then. How did you score it?
You know what? I fought a bad fight. You know what? At the end of the day, I fought a bad fight. If I would have won that fight, I would have had to call Dana and get him on the phone and say, Dana, I got to rematch that guy. I can't live with that, and we got to do this again, you know? People can say, BJ, you won, BJ, you lost. Come on, let's not play games. I didn't fight a great fight. Frankie fought a great fight, you know? Frankie's in the position he's in now, and I got a chance to erase things on Saturday.
Well, a lot of people said you weren't 100% going into that fight. How banged up were you?
I would never answer on something like that, and the one reason why is because Frankie Edgar's a good guy. All he's just here to do his best. He's a human being, he's a father, you know? Who cares about any of that stuff? Frankie Edgar fought that fight. Frankie Edgar ended up with the decision. And here we are right now in Boston.
Was there something about his style that gave you trouble out there?
I don't know if it was his exact style, but what I would say is that Frankie got in a great shape. Frankie had a great camp. There was great people behind him, and they put together a great game plan, and they ended up walking away with the victory.
After that fight, a lot of people were wondering, you know, what would you do next? Then the UFC gave you that rematch. But going into the fight, there was a lot of talk that that might be your last fight at 155. Considering the fact now that you have to win the belt and, of course, maybe defend it a couple of times, is it safe to assume that you're sticking around at lightweight for a long time now?
I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow when I wake up, you know. Well, we'll see. You know what? I just want to fight. I want to fight the #1 contender to the number 15 contender. I'll fight all of them. If someone's hurt, they can't give me a fight, I'll ask Dana, give me a fight in welterweight. I got a few things in my head, and it ain't only about the champion. There's some other guys up there I want to fight too.
Can you share a couple of names with us?
Not right now. I gotta keep my eye on Frankie Edgar.
Okay. Are you expecting him to be the same Frankie Edgar, the same one that you fought at 112 on Saturday night?
I'm expecting him to be a little better, not a lot better, a little better. He might try to kick more. He's got smart guys, you know. He's got Phil Nurse, he's got his boxing coach, he's got all these other people. So, you know, you got to really be careful about these guys, man. They're real tricky.
You said on the Countdown show that it kind of bugged you the way he celebrated, because really, you know, you could say he maybe didn't win that fight decisively. Looking back now, because it was such a big deal for him to beat a guy like you, a legend such as yourself, can you understand why he celebrated that way?
I think the celebration should have came out after the victory, not before the victory.
You thought he was maybe...
After the decision, not
You thought he was trying to sway the judges, maybe?
I mean, don't we all think that? Right?
After the fight, your book came out, and there were some rumors that your relationship with Dana White in the UFC was a little strained as a result. How is it now?
I wish it was better.
Would you like to maybe talk with him and try to, you know, smooth everything out maybe after the fight?
I love Dana White. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today. Bottom line.
Okay, final question. I know you're a big boxing fan, right? And it seems as though you're really enjoying James Toney. The stuff you sat next to him at the press conference. What do you think this means for the sport? I mean, if he beats Randy Couture, a lot of people saying, oh, MMA, take 3 steps back. Would it really be all that bad if James knocks out Randy?
Hey, what's worse than having the WWF champ, our heavyweight champ? That ain't worse than having James Toney come out and win a fight.
So it's not all that bad for the sport, right? He's bringing a little hype. Can't be worse, right?
It's great for the sport. James Toney is God's gift to MMA right now. He's promoting the sport. He's telling everybody to go out and buy tickets. You can't ask for a better person. What James Toney is doing is putting more money in everybody's pocket.
All right, it all goes down this Saturday night live on pay-per-view from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. BJ Penn returns against Frankie Edgar for the UFC lightweight title. Thank you so much for the time, BJ.
Thank you very much, Ariel. And we're boys now. We're boys. We're boys.
Mahalo.